My Spy, The Eternal City, Operation Fortune, Ruse, guerre, Butterfly, Amateur, Agent Elvis, and The Operator are just some of the upcoming spy movies or series that we'll fill you in on today in our Spy Movie News, February 28th, 2023 edition. And Tom has a rant. All right, Operation Fortune, Ruse, guerre. Finally! We've been talking about Operation Fortune for over a year now, and it is finally being released in theaters in the U.S. Friday, March 3rd, 2023. They are doing the special preview showings the night before. The movie was released globally in January and finally comes to the U.S. It has already hit a $30 million worldwide box office, and the U.S. release should help those numbers. This is the Guy Ritchie spy movie starring Jason Statham, Aubrey Plaza, and Cary Elwes. It was supposed to be released last spring, but was delayed because the baddies in this movie were Ukrainians. Well, just over a year ago, Russia invaded Ukraine, so the decision was made to put Operation Fortune on ice. It ended up being kept on ice for almost a year. We've purchased our advance tickets, and our next podcast episode will be our quickfire, no spoiler review of this movie. We hope it was worth the wait. My Spy, The Eternal City. In June 2020, the movie My Spy, starring Dave Bautista and Chloe Coleman, was released on Amazon Prime. It was supposed to be released in theaters the same week that COVID shut down all the theaters. So, like many movies, it got pushed, then pushed again. The decision was finally made to release it to streaming. Well, My Spy is getting a sequel called My Spy, The Eternal City. According to an article on cinemablend.com, it will be bringing back Dave Bautista, Chloe Coleman, Kristen Schaal, and Ken Jeong. In our no spoiler quickfire review episode we released on June 29th, 2020, we talked about how we liked this cast, so it's good to see them return. I thought Jeong was miscast, but Tom liked him in this one. In our review, we also talked about how we liked My Spy, so a sequel is welcome. The original was a spy comedy and was well done. We assume The Eternal City will be as well. Now, this is being called My Spy, The Eternal City, which implies it will be based on Rome, Italy. Rome has the Eternal City moniker. We get this from a blog entry on the John Cabot University website, which tells us that the poet Tibullus is credited with calling Rome Urbs Aeterna, which translates from Latin, of course, to Eternal City. We've seen some references to Kyoto, Japan, as having this moniker, but we believe this movie will be focused on Rome, Italy. So, we'll need to see the movie to find out. No release date has been announced, so we'll keep you posted. Butterfly. An article on MovieWeb.com tells us that Daniel Dae Kim will star in the upcoming series Butterfly for Amazon. Based on the graphic novel of the same name, Butterfly follows a former U.S. intelligence operative in South Korea. This is being designed as a multi-season series and will be a blend of both Korean and English dialogues. The tagline for this movie is, David Young, an enigmatic, highly unpredictable former U.S. intelligence operative living in South Korea, whose life is blown to pieces when the consequences of an impossible decision from his past come back to haunt him, and he finds himself pursued by Rebecca, a deadly, sociopathic young agent assigned to kill him. Amateur. Oscar winner and former Bond nemesis in No Time to Die, Rami Malek, has been picked to star in the upcoming spy movie Amateur. The movie is about a CIA cryptographer who wants to be trained as an operative. So, is this a bit Jack Ryan-esque, with a non-CIA operative taking on the role of an operative? One difference here is that the cryptographer wants to make the change. Jack Ryan continues to be an analyst. No details about production or release have been announced. We'll keep you posted. The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. Henry Cavill's latest project, which also stars Eiza Gonzalez, Henry Golden, and Cary Elwes, The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, will have a theatrical distribution by Lionsgate. It will also release on Amazon Prime Video. This movie is based on the real-life World War II special ops group that is now known as Black Ops. Winston Churchill and Ian Fleming are two of the main characters portrayed. You know, we like spy movies based on real life, and this one looks like it will have a modicum of factual background to it. The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare is currently in production and is expected to release next year. Like so many movies these days, the goal is to make this the first of a franchise. A Compassionate Spy. We told you about the upcoming documentary, A Compassionate Spy, back in our September 27, 2022 Spy Movie News. At the time, we told you this movie was hitting the film festival circuit. Well, we have a bit more information on this one. As we told you in September, that looks at Ted Hall, one of the scientists on the Manhattan Project. Hall gave nuclear secrets to Russia. Given the buzz of Christopher Nolan's upcoming movie, Oppenheimer, the development of the nuclear bomb is getting some renewed interest this year. Magnolia Pictures has picked up the North American distribution rights and will release A Compassionate Spy in theaters later this year. We'll let you know if we hear a release date. Agent Elvis. We told you about this animated movie last month. We now have more details thanks to an article on MovieWeb.com. Matthew McConaughey will provide the voice of Elvis. The article tells us that, quote, Agent Elvis finds Elvis Presley wanting to give something back as he trades in his jumpsuit for a jetpack after being covertly inducted into a secret government spy program to battle the dark forces that threaten the country he loves, all while holding down his day job as a king of rock and roll, unquote. We will tell you that the trailer for this movie uses the words S blank blank T and F blank 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 ING. You can figure that out. So, Elvis, we don't think this one will be for kids. And Agent Elvis will release in March of 2023. The Order. Jude Law will be playing an FBI agent in the upcoming movie The Order. The Order was adapted from the 1989 book The Silent Brotherhood, which was written by Kevin Flynn. Nicholas Hoult will be Law's nemesis as the leader of a terrorist organization. We haven't seen much about this one, but we'll keep you up to date as we learn more. Operation Napoleon. Here's another movie that we've told you about in the past. This time, in our November 29, 2022 Spy Movie News, Operation Napoleon is about the finding of an old German World War II plane in a melting glacier. The plane contains dangerous secrets. Ian Glenn, who Game of Thrones fans will recognize as Jorah Mormont in that series, is one of the stars in this movie. This month's news from The Hollywood Reporter about Operation Napoleon has to do with distribution. It was released in Iceland in February 2023 and will release in Germany on March 9th. Beta Cinema owns worldwide distribution rights and has been signing release deals in many countries. The Hollywood Reporter's article title says, Hot Sales for Iceland Thriller, Operation Napoleon, ahead of Berlin market. So, this one is getting some buzz. We've yet to see US or UK release information, and we'll keep you posted. Spy Master. Spy Master is an upcoming Romanian spy series that brings us a fictional double agent, Victor Godano. Godano is one of President Nicolae Ceausescu's advisors who defects in 1978. In an article on Variety, creators Kristen Peters tells us, quote, As a child, I used to watch James Bond, which is a very cartoony version of espionage. It was something we really wanted to avoid. We wanted it to feel real, unquote. Co-creator Adina Sedianu adds, quote, Over the years, I met many people working in intelligence. They weren't those James Bond types, with an exception of maybe one guy. It helped me understand the way they hide, unquote. So, it looks like they're going for realism with this one. We can't wait. And we won't have to wait long. HBO Max will stream the series Spy Master in May 2023. Warner TV series will show it in Germany this summer. Salar. Okay, we're not 100% sure that this is a spy movie, but the Tollywood movie Salar is slated to be released September 28, 2023. Given the recent worldwide success of Indian movies like RRR, KGF, and Pathan, this Salar is getting a lot of hype. It is starring a big Tollywood actor called Prabhas and is being directed by Prashant Neel, who directed the KGF trilogy. Not much is known about the plot, but the rumor is that Prabhas will be playing a dual role, an anti-terrorist squad soldier and the other is a gangster. We'll have to see if they give this the Mr. Big Kananga treatment, like from Live and Let Die. Does it just happen to be the same actor, or are the roles really different? We'll have to see Salar to find out. You can read more about Salar on movieweb.com. One more thing. If you aren't familiar with the term Tollywood, it is the southern India answer to Bollywood. We know we're simplifying here, but Tollywood movies are mostly released in the language Telugu, while Bollywood movies are mainly released in Hindi. That said, as Tollywood has grown, it appears that both of the Indian woods are releasing many of their movies in both languages. The Department. George Clooney will direct the upcoming Showtime series, The Department. It is based on the French series, The Bureau, or Le Bureau de la Légende. The Bureau has had a 5-season run. It was released in Canada and the U.S. on iTunes and on Amazon Prime in the U.K. The article in Variety on The Department talks more about The Bureau than it does The Department. So, we aren't sure if this is just a straight American English remake of The Bureau or it will be something else. The official tagline for The Bureau is the daily life and missions of agents within France's principal external security service. It focuses on the Bureau of Legends, responsible for training and handling deep cover agents on long-term missions in areas with French interests. Living under false identities for years, these agents' missions are to identify and recruit good intelligence sources. We'll let you know when we hear anything on the casting and release schedule for The Department. The Night Agent. We first mentioned The Night Agent way back in our November 30th, 2021 spy movie news. Well, it's finally about to be released. Netflix gives The Night Agent this description, quote, based on the novel by Matthew Quirk, the series is a sophisticated, character-based action thriller centering on a low-level FBI agent who works in the basement of the White House, manning a phone that never rings, until the night that it does, propelling him into a fast-moving and dangerous conspiracy that ultimately leads all the way to the Oval Office, unquote. That description hasn't changed from what we told you back in 2021. Netflix will stream all 10 episodes of the series, The Night Agent, on March 23rd, 2023. So, get your binge time allocated for this one. Netflix has been releasing a few of these spy series lately. We thought The Recruit was worth watching, but we weren't as sold on Treason. Let's hope that The Night Agent is worth the wait. Let's look at Rabbit Hole. We can't call this a spy movie as we normally define it. However, it is about corporate espionage, has action sequences, and feels like a spy movie based on its newest 2-minute trailer. We're talking, of course, about the upcoming 8-part Paramount Plus series, Rabbit Hole. This series stars Kiefer Sutherland and Charles Dance, and the trailer makes it look promising. Our only concern is that the trailer starts with a bit that looks like a rehashing of a scene in the James Bond movie Never Say Never Again. If you're going to start your trailer with a takeoff of a Bond movie, we think you should probably stick with an Ian production Bond movie. Rabbit Hole will show the first 2 episodes back-to-back on March 26th in the U.S. and on March 27th in the U.K. Here's a bit of sad news about Judi Dench. Dame Judi Dench has shared some sad news about her efforts to memorize lines. It appears she has a photographic memory which has helped her learn her lines in the past. However, her degenerative eye condition has made this very tough for her. An article in Variety tells us, quote, it's now become impossible to learn lines because of her eyesight loss, unquote. We love Dame Dench's turn as M, from GoldenEye through Skyfall, and are saddened to see her struggle. She is one of the best. All right, congratulations are in order to Gemma Arterton of Quantum of Solace and the Kingsman fame. She gave birth to her son just before Christmas. She told the Plot Twist podcast that she had tried to keep his birth private, but has since gone public with the news. So congratulations to Gemma and her husband, Rory Keenan. Tom's Rant. Okay, every time there's spy movie news, there's a spy movie Tom rant, because he finds something to rant about. And this time, he's got a couple of good ones. So here's Tom's Rant.
All right, now it's time for Tom's Rant. But before I get into this, I want to wish my beautiful wife a very happy birthday. Dan told you I bought my ticket for Operation Ruse de Guerre earlier in this episode. AMC is the closest theater to me that's showing this movie, and I have one big gripe about going to AMC to see this. In fact, I'm not going to go to AMC, and I'm going to talk about why I'm driving the extra 20 minutes to see this movie, not in an AMC theater. I originally purchased my ticket for AMC, but returned it, and I'm going elsewhere to see this movie. AMC has started their preferred sightline pricing, and they're charging $1 more per seat to sit in the middle section of the theater. Now, of course, you can save $2 if you want to sit in the front row and have a crick in your neck for a week. Operation Fortune is the first movie where I've encountered this new practice by AMC, and I assume they started it with Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. I knew they announced they were going to do it. But because of this policy, I'm going to go to a Cinemark theater to see Operation Fortune instead of supporting AMC's pricing decision. I get where this is coming from. Yes, airlines are packed now and they do preferred seating and pricing. Uber has surge pricing. However, I've only been to one sold-out theater in years, which was a Sunday afternoon showing of Pathan. Why is AMC discouraging people from coming to their theaters to see a movie? The theater audience isn't back from the pandemic yet, and there are non-price gouging theaters that are showing this movie. The best part of this is, when I bought my ticket, AMC had not sold any seats yet for the preview showing in that theater. Mine was the first ticket they sold. But when I looked at the Cinemark theater, some seats had already been sold. Maybe people are telling AMC something here. I know I'm trying to tell them something here. Given our website, SpyMovieNavigator.com, and our podcast show, Cracking the Code of Spy Movies, you know I like movies. And I've talked in the past how I'd rather see a movie in a theater than in my home theater. I hope other theaters don't pick up on what I think is a stupid, short-sighted policy from AMC with this pricing. I have a choice, and I'm choosing not to go to the closer AMC theater just because of their pricing policy. It's only $1. It's not that big of a deal, except it's a bad practice to start because who knows where it'll go. In fact, in this case, I'm going to spend more in fuel getting to the non-pricing gouging Cinemark theater than the $1. But I feel it's worth it not to support what in my opinion is a stupid pricing decision. We the consumer have a choice here. I encourage you to exercise your choice too, and don't go to AMC while they've got this stupid policy in place. All right, on to my next topic. We're getting tired of the James Bond waiting game. It's been 3 years since Eon Productions wrapped the filming of No Time to Die. Okay, technically it's been 2 years and 11 months. Now they killed Bond off at the end of that movie, and we don't think Barbara Broccoli and Michael G. Wilson have a clue what to do now. They put themselves in a box. Barbara Broccoli recently told Lad Bible, "No, we haven't even started casting yet, and there isn't even a script." And they've been talking about this for a while like this. We're wondering if they really wanted to end the franchise with No Time to Die and got caught having to give us a James Bond Will Return just to appease new management. That said, there is an article that Spy Command pointed us to that reminds us of something Barbara Broccoli told the Los Angeles Times in 2012. Quote, "Sometimes there are external pressures from a studio who want you to make it in a certain time frame or for their own benefit. And sometimes we've given in to that," end of quote, Broccoli said. And then, quote, "But following what we hope will be a tremendous success with Skyfall, we have to try to keep the deadlines within our own time limits and not cave into external pressures," end of quote. So, given that, we're frustrated, we're going to stop looking and talking about the rumors, and we're going to wait to see if or when anything happens with the James Bond franchise going forward. And that's my rant today. Send us your thoughts at info@spymovienavigator.com.
All right, 2 legitimate rants by Tom, and I have to say, I agree. All right, in memoriam. Unfortunately, we have quite a few passings to mention in this episode. Oliver Wood. Cinematographer Oliver Wood died at the age of 80. Wood was nominated for a BAFTA Best Cinematography Award for The Bourne Ultimatum in 2007. Among his numerous credits is his work on the spy movies The Bourne Ultimatum, The Bourne Supremacy, The Bourne Identity, Jack Reacher, Never Go Back, and I Spy. Burt Bacharach. Songwriter Burt Bacharach died at the age of 94. Spy movie fans will know his work with Hell David for the Oscar-nominated song The Look of Love from the 1967 James Bond spoof Casino Royale. Bacharach wrote the score for that movie. He won many awards, including 2 Oscars in his career, and had 73 top 40 hits in the U.S. You could read more about Bacharach in an article on the Spy Command. Raquel Welch. Actor Raquel Welch passed at age 82. Welch was one of the actresses who auditioned for the part of Domino in Thunderball. Spy movie fans will remember her as the lead in the movie Fathom. Stella Stevens. Actress Stella Stevens passed at the age of 84. She had a 50-year career in movies and television. She is probably best known for her roles in the movies The Poseidon Adventure and The Nutty Professor. However, spy movie fans will remember her as Gail Hendricks in the first Matt Helm movie, The Silencers. Gerald Fried. Composer Gerald Fried died at the age of 95. Fried is probably best known for his work on the Star Trek television series and the miniseries Roots. Fried received 2 Primetime Emmy nominations, which he shared with Quincy Jones for Roots, winning one of them. He also had 3 other Emmy nominations. Fried had 1 Oscar nomination for Best Dramatic Score for the documentary Birds Do It, Bees Do It in 1974. Spy TV fans will recognize his work on 45 episodes of the television series The Man from U.N.C.L.E. and 6 episodes of the Mission Impossible television series. Walter Mirisch. Producer Walter Mirisch passed at age 101. Mirisch won the Best Picture Oscar for the 1967 movie In the Heat of the Night. He also received the Irving G. Thalberg Memorial Award in 1978 and the 1983 Jean Hersholt Humanitarian Award from the Academy Awards. Mirisch also produced the spy movie Scorpio in 1973. Zaya Mohiuddin. British-Pakistani actor Zaya Mohiuddin died at the age of 91, probably best known for his role as Tafas in the movie Lawrence of Arabia. Spy television fans may know him from his work on 4 episodes of the television show Secret Agent. Wow, that was quite a list that we just lost. All right, so that's a wrap. This has been Dan from SpyMovieNavigator.com and our show, Cracking the Code of Spy Movies. Please help us out and subscribe to our show through your favorite podcast app. We're in all of them. Thanks for listening. We appreciate you spending time with us.